I realized I shouldn't have stopped the live. I shouldn't have did that. Instead, I should just go eat and then keep it going. So that's what I'm gonna do real quick. I'm gonna turn off my camera real quick. I ain't gonna turn off my camera. Maybe not. But y'all can look at this beauty Playboy. Or better yet. Okay. That's that. Getting to know YouTube streaming. Getting to know YouTube streaming real quick. And that's funny. It's my first time doing this, y'all. Mm-hmm. Ooh, and he brought some of my favorite stuff. No, it's not. It's only so much stuff you can do. I'm not leaving. What's going on? Is the employer want his sauce. Mm. Yeah, sorry to get rid of her. I can't hear your cell phone ringing.
And how do I?
What?
Scarlett, I was having a good time. Okay, we can talk about this.
No. Okay, you can't. Jesus.
I just,
Okay. Exactly what happened.
we should discuss.
Yep.
What? I need you to look me in the eye and tell me right now, are you in danger?
Let's just say that I have a hell of a lot more on my mind right now than thinking about buying a wish. So if you could just please.
Please.
So what are we doing?
Afraid for your safety and the safety of your family and your community.
Whoa.
What choices there are? If you're in danger, you're going to be absolutely
Stop. You keep saying that you're danger. You know, I never used the word. I said things were complicated. And you flew off.
I flew off the handle when I saw that. Okay? Where I'll fall in the shower.
This is just passive aggressive, you know. I go 2 days without returning your phone calls. 2 days. I have one minor little incident, and now you're telling me I should turn myself into the police for that.
What? Minor little incidents.
Argument. I had an argument. We were in this bar, and we were discussing a particular business strategy. And it got heated and out of control. And he hit me once. And I didn't tell him because it's too much over there. That's you are right. Yes, I am a bar fight.
Okay.
No.
It's near the air. No respect. It's not really skill.
Or even advice.
He's not violent. Right.
Yeah. Promise me that. Oh, no. I'm so sorry. Promise me. Yes.
I think we can help you out there. So,
Very nice. Very open.
I agree. Close. Whole lot of natural light. I go to There's a non-attached casino that permit usable as monthly SPC, like floors, central. I see you there.
No, divorced. That's
Sorry. Any children?
yes. He's from May. He's just out with the start.
Plenty of space for the neighborhood preschool is fantastic.
Well, I think he's going to be homeschooled.
Oh, great.
Just want to make sure that he's getting enough attention. He'll still go to summer camp and whatnot, play dates. I hope he's virtually affordable.
It was.
He tests. Not 60%, but the whole right and left brain. One doesn't balance. You said that Casita has. I won't go out and play, so I need access to my wire.
Well, it's 5 minutes from the back, so we're a perfect studio.
That's good.
Down.
I have to go.
He a DE, right? So he was on there with cartel, and
Your chips and
cartels after his brother-in-law. His brother-in-law is an old nigga that is an idiot. So he was getting really close to the cartel. Hunting him down and killed him. Oh, because the reason why he got mixed in with cartel started caring about him was because at one point he was looking for the nigga that was going to straighten on the drug. Didn't know it was his brother-in-law. To this day, he don't know it's his brother-in-law. But he got real close. And his brother-in-law at first was selling all his dope to the cartel because it was just better than the cartel. So the cartel was buying it from him. And then at one point, the cartel was trying to force him. At one point, the cartel was trying to force him in the jungle so they can force him to, make a whole bunch of drugs for him and just basically have full control over him. But his brother-in-law was on his ass. He ended up putting a tracker on his car and everything. On his car, the same car. And he thought that he was the chemist, but he's not. He's his assistant. So, but at the time, the cartel had him. So he ended up killing one of the head members of the cartel. The brother-in-law did. And then what ended up happening was they ended up running away, getting away. Yeah, these two. And then the brother-in-law had the cartel hunting him down because they found out the brother-in-law killed him. And they remember in the cartel.
Yeah.
So one day, one of the cartel's Grim Reapers was on his ass and got him. It was actually a set of twins. They told his ass up. But he also killed them. He killed the twins, but he damn near died too. They told his ass up.
One show what they were watching that there were two twins and they were two people. Remember what that was? It was watching.
Remember.
There was this old lady that was hiding outside of her house in the yard somewhere. Oh no, they killed her and threw her up.
I think it's this one.
Is it this one?
Yeah.
Are they like Indian looking?
Yeah.
Cartel?
Yeah.
They have longer. One was eating an apple, one was eating. They showed somebody in the truck.
What is this one? Yeah, so the same twin. They was hunting him down too because at first They thought it was him that killed the head member, but they ended up finding out it wasn't him. The bullets that killed the member was from the DEA.
Go ahead. Yeah, we should just go get.
You ever have those blue Sure.
This is so rock. Oh, whoa.
Me, oh, I'd say this one. You know, I can have me on this class, it's not for work, not lady, like.
Motivation. But it is like, is it
It's like,
motivation? It is, you want to take it just around the page here. Say we, you can, I want to know you at skill level.
So,
Not at a level, directors, but everything. That's why I asked you about people that you dated in the past. Or experiences that you had. How would I know? Yeah, I would text that.
no, we don't want to draw any tax attention.
I'll tell you.
what do you do?
That's you.
Not at all.
That's you. You would be like, why is it right here, right?
No, Dave, that's why. No, no.
You're just there's always
About violence. Oh, no, that is not at all what I meant. We do not do that. That's not who we are, right?
no. Try to state the obvious. There's dozens of car washes in this area. Who says it has to be this? Why? That clears things up.
I don't like it. I've done it. It's partisan, really bad, and I not money. What's that?
Nobody appreciates that passion. But in this business, all can back me up on this. The number one rule is don't take things personally.
I'm along the wall. Man enough to fix it. That you have to send in women to do your business for you.
Okay. Speaking as your lawyer, I'm going to go on record that things like that I like this music is. wash that day. Protects the innocent. It doesn't cost $20. Don't everybody speak at once.
Answer the questions. Yes, we are the collector. Are they something? One for each of 50 states. And Puerto Rico, technically. You know, maybe they were thinking someday. So
Now you know what?
so basically,
What?
Woody?
that's
What?
about
Like in the summer?
what we got for 18 months.
No, I was saying that.
Well, if you're looking for storage spaces,
I know you're not trying to meet.
Yeah.
and everything, it's better. Like, so, actually, I didn't know for you. It has all the information. I'm Stephanie Dossel, by the way. Charlotte. So I just told him my life. You're my husband? And then I said, 53 years old. Stressful and difficult and it's time. Miracles? Still a fascinating career.
That's all I wrote is.
I mean, yes.
Oh, that is good. All the time.
Between his pension and the income from him.
Who is it?
2 years ago, and
I'm not home.
any children? So how was it? I don't know. Not everyone has to have children. Like my husband.
This is cute. Yep. I don't know. Thank you. He's coming to you. What? What? Not what? Ah, you caught me. Let me think about it. No. Louder. Got her butt.
Yeah. You're familiar. Yeah.
Be a monster in there. Lie. No.
My husband, he's a deep.
So little Heidi Charles. Wait. Okay. Go get you some money. It's gonna eat you. Oh, it's your hair. I just do. This is hey, so there, I'm scared. Okay, rid of it. No. No, your butt hurts. Smile. Right here. Yes, it's still. Yeah. Oh, that's just good. Wait, look up. What is that? That's a scary place. Yeah. Come on. Ooh. Ew, it's dark and hairy. Let me see it. What are your hands? Yeah.
There's a spider? There's a spider in the air, Mama.
So look at okay? Look it. I gotta get it now. No, it's just your hair. I thought it was a spider.
Thank you.
I feel that. Hey. Yeah. You just go around. Another way. Why would you put your eyes on? What? You did the baby? Mine on each day. My baby.
No. What about myself?
What is it? Ow, your butt don't hurt. You ain't got no meat.
I got some.
Oh, get off the leg. Yeah, we're talking about it.
It doesn't work.
Oh, you so rude. That's why you look like that. And your knees is flat. Alright, you guys. Hey, leave that alone. So I need you guys to go pick up all the toys, please. Come on. Come on.
My mom's going to rainbow box today. Like a rainbow.
Why do you want to look like a baby?
I don't know.
You call it that swing line?
Yeah. She said, what do you?
Like longer hairs from when you're old. Like short.
Looks like it pertains to some kind of methane.
Mommy, I don't really like that. See, you do like rainbow and black. Rainbow plus black.
Like that's
That one.
no, Zaza. Go put your toys away now. Come on. Go. No, I want everything off the floor and put it away. Super, like, go put the toys away. Clean up time. Okay, yeah, it's gonna be first tomorrow. You can't plan it no more for the day. Like, look at you broke it. You broke it. Look at it. Why you do that? Go help your brother put the toys away. Come on. Hurry up. Clean up time. Clean up. Clean up. Clean up to make sure everything's back in its place. Hurry up. Put everything away. I don't want any toys out. All right, go put the toys away now. All right. No, come on, all of you.
Mom, they put it next to
Well, I told you but not to leave everything out. You keep leaving them out, just like you left the whole box on the bed. Put stuff away. You can't be mad at them because you took it out. So put all your stuff in your big bag and leave it in there. Stop leaving stuff out. And no, Zaza, stop touching Kai stuff.
I'm not touching it.
Well, I used to. Always have to keep that stuff put away, Carter. I'll put everything away. Okay, go put them away.
Just went too far. So, but he's not going back. He did that. Time to move on.
I'll go to this and get down them.
Go. alone. Just go. Now. Okay.
Oh, Mr. Evans.
That's all fun. Found the guy.
Well, yes, he found the guy, but I told him what to do.
Right.
Yes, all was well.
Yeah, that's one of the better.
What?
Ed, the church over there, was his favorite. And religion. Named after.
I'm asking how did you tonight an unusual school teacher pay for having this window?
No.
And it's a point is we're broke. Remember? We don't need through unemployment. I asked for an extension from the college. Why? Because other people
I'm not apologizing for wanting to celebrate some small thing.
are asking you to be
I want a bottle of champagne. Smooth. That's it.
that's all it takes. Okay? One little piece of art. United States.
I find it.
What Same as the devil is in details, okay? Little mistake, one is wrong, and others is wrong. That could be worse.
Very concerned about what service action after service management, especially
So that's how they call it. Do that.
Gambling destroyed my family. It's like a love. Really not. It's amazing the stories you tell yourself.
Idea, okay? Great. Debate, okay? Don't worry. Because they won't worry about us. Just, okay? All right.
Well, let go, put down. Why do I get my butt out?
Because my face.
Criteria upon which I strategy similar to first.
You're taking too long.
What? You think it behooves me to explain any of this?
It behooves me. That's what I'm saying.
Sure, no, we both know the first decision is to split or to hate. Next decision is there. This is 18. Final decision. Get understand. I shouldn't even be playing, and that is the fiction that we should be sticking.
You know what? All right, let's get started.
Be quiet over that side part. Turn off that TV.
Bullet points. This is smart. You really want to try to sell on TV. Don't prepare a fast, full story about how we suddenly have money to college. We need to be really with it. We need this story to be solid, sympathetic, and most of all, complete.
Story that you already told Ray and you think she isn't hanging up. This is what we're talking about here.
She hasn't. Kenneth thinks his insurance is paying for everything. And he's not telling him that we're paying his therapy bills. Neither of us. Did you get your brother Reginald Flynn? Because I seem to recall that you'd rather do drugs. We will tell you for our own time. And we will wait and kind of clean as Hank and Jim. Pure from the Spain for everything. We talked about this. We prayed about this.
We did. It's just.
Okay. So I really okay, we're each be responsible for the story and we can kick them off or anything else and it was even most natural. Okay, so I'm gonna launch with the exciting news that we are buying a car wash. The next logical question is really big and to which I'll say we want to seclusive to your house. Just too cold. You said to expect something big. Anyway, that's where you will take over the diagnosis, which is only 2. It's pretty much more parallel to the truth, which means it is just make sure to get the cancer. You're going to figure and just turn on them. There's something there that you can understand. Just something so stupid. Now, after that, pages 3 and 4, after you became an addiction, control it. Okay. Oh, and I'm from GA meeting. Next, I'll chime in how marriage, starting confusion, just why I'm telling you.
You said word, but I would never say that.
I said, however, now,
And why do you like super strong?
answer
I was. And I
that's just
weak. I'm out of control. And this whole thing makes me cry.
that's how it's better. I mean, go sit down.
Where is the ice? I can't seem to find
For crystal meth, pretty much ahead.
I don't want to think less.
At least you won at gambling. You couldn't run the slot.
I'm sorry. How's that?
You're inspired. So, after you say you're sorry, in your own words, of course, and almost and I say how proud I am of you for joining the 12-step program. This is where I think we should enact a feel. You know, just a suggestion. Put down the fear through worse. What? What do we just kind of feel heavy? taking your hand says an emotional word. It's you. So we have a strong we can support each other. And then maybe I'll tear up a little. Just have to see what happens.
You're gonna cry. And you,
I said,
when you have your head,
it's just
two tears. I mean,
this has to be convincing. I'm doing the best I can. And this is thorough. It's easily done. It's just
she's cute. She can do it. You know what I'm saying? It's a miracle collection. You know what I'm saying? Yes. It's road night. It's manganese innocent. It makes me doing things like that. It's the thing. It oxidizes, you know, like rust. That means kind of relations. Like 3 plus 7. Which colors are green. It's all stable states. Okay. Exactly. Well, he said. Anyway, it's it. Working on stuff. Then we'll consulting and weighing in on a case. What is this? She's gonna take this. Oh man. So, example for these couple.
such a relief to tell you. You're just so glad that we have this. Through this. Oh, shit.
Had 6. Exactly.
It's enough to natural taxes.
Why'd you I really hell.
What is my brother?
Excuse me, please. restaurant. Wow.
Hey, mommy, you want me to bun it?
Sorry. It's like fall in. No. I knew it was the big time. Wanted to be thorough. Out of town, it was easy. Talk about. You know, you can always bet here, right? I mean, if you're in. Same goes for me, you know, if you want else here, say, really, sometimes just something through, you know, really can make a difference. I mean, great with the PS already. Hundreds of pounds. Who's this person? You know, your guy. There's a mystery man. I've been third part of a year. By the name of Heisenberg. Yeah, weird. I looked him up. It's one of these physicists, one of the guys, physicist named Jerry Heisenberg. Real cute. Anyway, I figured with a handle like that, my guy's going to be some sort of a. Get. Speaking, is called he's writing about acetone. Yeah, it's pretty rare. This giant will use up all the product. It's very, very sweaty. It's a recipe for vegan s'mores. It's like top 10 recommended bicycle kids. Next to the methamphetamine synthesis. This guy was a, yeah, he was a good character. And he seems unique. Good. I mean, two things that I saw in my perfect son. Let me figure that out. Listen. They walk up. Let me see this. For a second, because I think. I heard you learned from time up in perfect silence. Stars. Freaking maniac. And it's cool or something. I'm chasing my so there's feel stuck in because person, people keep somebody else. See, how can you be so because I found my prints, but then 5 blocks in that place, they picked me up right now. What about the casing? How many trips did you do anyway? Jesse, the casing. Did you pick them up? No. Everything. Did you tell me exactly what happened from the moment you got there? I got it. I need specifics. Start from the beginning. You drove there. You went to the store, right? Jesse, I need you to constantly necessary including to the doctor or real. Not real. Did you say anything to her? Did you talk to the church right there? Right. You laughed out, right? He's distracted Jesse. Knows Jesse is involved in the sale. Thanks. Walking leave. I'm gonna few months. Do it your after Jesse for the murder. Goes after Mal and his rascals. sounded insensitive. But he was after him. I'll sue his ass. Flip every harassment. 16 other things. For those who have to get really what it is, gotta figure your people's out that particular yes, that's what the most got. I'm worried. Should I not worry that Gus plans to murder me at the first chance he gets? Should I not worry that my drug business can hear with the demons or not? Should his house. He has an actual home living. Now, before Gus decides that he's doing this. Night, rotating, dead-eye, sucker punching in the freezer kind of guts. You know, I mean, it's interesting. But it's not a business. Why am I the only person who will be professional? Slice it. Everybody's in danger. How do I tell you what? Family just see my stuff. Never comes up. Why? Stupid call. Voyage. We are committed. I told her. Skylar, I'm sure she needs to believe that if this needs and tightening, which is telling herself that I work this nice, quiet little lab coat, I protector. My contract is not just circulating. Get my hair and walk away. You do have a little shit. Really got to protect yourself. There's a guy. Disappeared. The first initial feed had 2 minutes of substantial you and your vanish and trace. This protection can off with new identities, new everything. But you were to trace you. Makes clear. This is an indicator to get my middle pushing out the back. What is coming? Gotta be something else that I could do. Some way spiraling out. Sounds like this person demise. That's what it's playing. He's fine.
If you really think about it, you should see it file. Step back in your emergencies and markup that they're giving you. I mean, you could be destroying to security around your family, grandma, or you could be dead or after they were constantly you're not going to death. social years. The town parks. Yeah. Oh, hey. So there's pizza here. Right, that's what everybody. Oh, yeah. I definitely know that. You got a problem. I can get the stuff, pizza and stuff, but it's as far as financial. Just. Concentrated dose. Because as a special, you gotta get bone marrow transplant. Your odds are 60%. I can definitely get different sticks. All right. I can go. Wake up. Stop. Downstairs now. Where's everybody? I invited your guests to leave. No, this is. No. I'd say you've been at your house for 3 days. Okay. You stole your okay. Does $70,000 or so look familiar? That's it.
Thanks. Want to know what's next? Look at this test circumstance. Well, you should. Yeah. I don't want to take a lot. Yes. You better kill. This is what I want. So back to her. Please, please. And then what? I'm supposed to promise, my heart, straighten up and fly right or total. Some other crap. I'm not going to say. Is that your little show here about? You don't understand this, shithead. You know? Look at this that dude in there. Now, come I know. Is you under control for the blindfold on. I'm going back to bed. There's that. Start. I'm increasingly cautious. Risk, a liability. No, he and Walter is a team who was really like it.
All right.
Gotta be done.
That's enough of that. Now let this go on for a minute. Had to nurture the family, my wife, kids, and clean up and all that good stuff. Yeah, for those single men, right? Because women, they're gonna do what they do. You know, I'm not a woman, but single people, period. Um, from experience, I love my wife dearly, and that's what's up. You know, my wife changed my life in a good way. The fact of the matter is, uh, this is the fact of the matter, real quick. Let me give y'all some true game, real quick, straight from the scriptures.
Would you like one? It's ice cold now.
Yes, please.
Which one? This one?
Let me get the orange one real quick.
What?
Ice.
Okay.
I might let it melt a
yours.
little bit.
Yours are in there. I put
In a
these
refrigerator?
in the freezer. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, baby.
I asked you if you wanted one with ice.
I thought you said ice cold. Mm-hmm. One scripture. I'm gonna share two scriptures with you. First scripture. Further, the unmarried woman, as well as the virgin, is anxious for the things of the Lord, that she may be holy, both in her body and in her spirit. However, the married woman is anxious for the things of the world, how she may gain the approval of her husband. And then, secondly, this second scripture.
You need the light on?
Yes.
Want it dim?
No. Thank you, babe. All right. So context is the Apostle Paul speaking to the congregations of Corinth, the Corinthians. So this is First Corinthians chapter 7. Oh, I forget. I can bring it up on here too. Yeah, let me bring it up on here real quick. Let's get into some real game. Let's get into some real deal game right here. We're going to go First Corinthians. Yeah, 7. Boom. And we're going to pick up on 7 verses 7. It says, but this doubt, he just got into some good stuff about, marriage, wife and husband. But then verse 7, it says, but I wish all men were as I am. He's speaking about in terms of being single. Nevertheless, each one has his own gift from God, one in this way, another in that way. Now I say to those who are unmarried and to the widows that it is better for them if they remain as I am. Why would he say it is better? We just looked at what was that first scripture we looked at? What's that? Okay, so 7, 32. It went on in verse 32. It said, "Indeed, right here." And let's make this text bigger for the screen. You see what I'm saying? So verse 32, they say right here, "Indeed, I want you to be free from anxiety. The unmarried man is anxious for the things of the Lord, how he may gain the Lord's approval. But the married man is anxious for the things of the world, how he may gain the approval of his wife, and vice versa, for wives to their husbands. An unmarried woman is anxious for the things of the Lord, how she may gain the Lord's approval. The married woman is anxious for the things of the world, how she may gain the approval of her husband. So then, before I go into the next comment that I want to make, or how I'm perceiving it, verse 38 right here. So also, whoever marries does well, but whoever does not marry will do better. Now, context is our spiritual focus. Our spiritual focus, we're right here. The constant devotion to the Lord without distraction. Our spiritual focus. The one that is single can focus on their spirituality, moving forward with Jehovah. One that is married is not just focused on their spirituality, themselves and spirituality, my wife, my kids, and everything else that goes on, and nurturing them, taking care of them. It's not just focused on yourself and Jehovah. So when we're speaking about focus, that's the name of the game right now, is focus, especially with all of this knowledge that's out there, AI, and all of this content and media that's out there at the tip of our fingers. It's hard for one to focus. It's devotion without distraction. Now, of course, I didn't want to go too far off and on tangent, but the scripture in here, put Jehovah first, put the Lord first, put him first, and then all other things will be handed to you. Seek the interests of the kingdom first, and then you focus on actions, because faith is dead without works. So we got a goal. You don't want to put nothing in priority before Jehovah, but everything else, as long as it's not something that is directly directly against Jehovah's will. As long as it's not that, you can make as much money as you want to. You can become as valuable as you want to. You can as long as it's not in a direct action against Jehovah's will that he has for you. And as you become closer to Jehovah, you'll know exactly how he feels and what principles is applied, being a servant of Jehovah. So we understand that part, but you want to focus. And that's the reason why Paul says it's better, because then you are able to give that constant devotion without distraction. So enough with this, what I had going. Let's implement a little bit of focus before I go to bed. It's already 12:13, and I got to get up at 4 to drive to Geico, because I'm hustling. I'm getting my money. And before I shut it down, I want to go over a little bit of what we got going here in my what's name. Oh, look, another tab got built. Publish. This wasn't here before. So we got engaged, community, analytics, publish, review. When we go back over here to Claude, we bring Claude up, go to code, routines, because I got something on automatic, and here it go. Claude has automatically done 4 different tasks for me. This one got skipped. There's been a lot of skipped. What's going on? Running. The reason why I got skipped is because it's not on auto. So auto mode. All right, hold on. Now let's go over here because I want this on auto mode. Let's get up in here. All right, CRM build. All right, and I'm gonna talk to it because I can speak so many more words a minute than I can type. So I'm gonna talk to it. Yo, Clyde. So we have the routine set where it's on automatic and it's building out the features of Masterworker, my CRM. Now, before I just load the brainstorming backlog with features, that way it could continue to grab different features that I come up with and automatically build it. Whenever a session starts, it's setting it up on the basis of it having to ask my permission to do anything. So I can be asleep or I can be at work at Geico and I can miss it, and then it's skipping it doing work because it needs me to allow it to do what it needs to do, and that's not full autonomy. We need it to be on full autonomy. So I want it to automatically put itself on autopilot, not ask permissions. I want that to be implemented into that markdown immediately. There you go, right there. You don't get bored. I find myself doing more scrolling on Facebook and Instagram because it's doing everything for me. But then, like I said, focus. So many distractions out. That's one thing I'm struggling with is being able to just focus on this. It can do this for 5, 10, 15 minutes just working. And it's doing it in the background, and all you can see is this little orange thing right here where a mouse is at. And that right there, is boring to look at. But over here to the right side, is background tasks. You see all these background tasks that have been completed, minus this one failed. Obviously, things stop and it completes it. It does its thing. So it would be doing that the entire time. And behind the scenes, it's been thinking for a minute, literally a minute and 30 seconds. So, and this is what happened right here in this chat. In this CRM build, obviously there's a lot of going on. 256,000 tokens of context. And the thing is, see, look, context window, 831,000 tokens right now. Yep, 831,000 tokens. And the way that tokens are spent is basically every word that it has to read, and then basically the words that it had to type back out to you. So right now, I got 831,000 tokens worth of context that it has to read through just to remind itself what's going on. And I say all I have to say. For example, you see this docs next session .md. That MD stands for markdown. I create markdown files. I'll basically start a session and I'll give it my ideas. If there's if there is a file on my computer, then I'm adding a file from my computer. If there's a folder with a group of files, I'm adding a folder with a group of files. Me, I'm a little more advanced, and I got GitHub. GitHub is basically where my apps live, the all the files to my apps. If you're looking at Playboy on Masterworker, or you're looking at specifically Playboy alone, Playboy is one app, Masterworker is a separate app, and Playboy lives inside Masterworker as well, because I designed Playboy before I designed Masterworker. You see, and now I am in the middle of transitioning the app, the app in its entirety over to Masterworker. So when I'm doing what I do, when I do it, I'm talking to Masterworker. I'm letting it know what I want and what I need done. So then it can go have a conversation and give the markdown file to Playboy. And Playboy is basically you got a board of members, right? I'm the CEO. I have a assistant, Masterworker, and then all of these members have an invested interest in the company. But instead of these members right here at the table, I'm 100% sole owner of the company. These people don't have an invested interest. The AI agents don't have an invested interest, but these are just my employees. But even my employees got employees, so that's why I'm calling them board members, because these are the main AIs, and then they have sub agents underneath them. We're going to get into how they have sub agents working behind the scenes. But right now it's just that. Masterworker will be the main one. He's going to be my Jarvis. And I turn around, delegate to him. He's going to delegate to, those that are specific for whatever topic, whether it's content, that'll be Playboy, whether it's credit, that will be legacy. You see what I'm saying? If it sells, that'll be David, and it's a cold story behind all the AIs and in the way that they got their knowledge and everything. So that's exactly how this is going to work out, and this CRM is going to basically be not only just my contact relationship manager. So when I'm helping out any one of you, and you guys, contact details is in here to help me stay organized, and I'm able to communicate with you by email, text, and automations and stuff like that, process of payments and all that good stuff. Aside from that, the AI is going to be doing what it needs to do, not only just to continue to build on what we got going on, but it's also going to be able to, help me out with these automations and do the heavy lifting, come up with creatives and, do certain things. There's a lot of stuff that we can get into when we start talking about credit, business credit, loans and funding, purchasing real estate, getting creative with the way that you're purchasing real estate. It's a lot of stuff that you can process. So we need these systems in place to help us out, and these AIs is going to make sure the system is not missing things that our human mentality often overlooks, and also too is going to put things on automatic. So all we have to do is set a trigger. Once we pull it, things are just being done for us behind the scenes, and everything's just moving a whole lot faster than what it would be if you were to put somebody in the seat and have to teach them how to do it. And then when they're doing it, they're not being, they're not giving their 100%, because again, remember, there's these distractions. People aren't able to devote themselves. There's so much going on, and sometimes it is a good distraction. My wife is a great distraction for me. My kids are a great distraction for me, but then when I'm broke, not so much. But when I'm up, that's the best thing that I can do, is spend time with my wife and kids. Because I'm up, I want to go have some fun. It ain't no fun if my wife and kids not there. But then you turn around and it's like a gimme got you, like, hey, you got all that bread because you was consistent and persistent over here, doing the work. Now you out there frivolously spending and acting, and you need to get back to work. So there it goes, man. All right, so back to Claude. Updated us. That's the most important thing for real autonomy, and you're right to push on it. Quick honesty, though. The autopilot switch isn't a markdown, it's the permission settings. Markdown tells about what to build. The permission config decides whether it can act without asking you. Let me flip that to full autopilot now. So it did that. Hit a wall there. It's an important one to be straight with you about. Claude's code safety system blocked me from flipping that switch. An agent isn't allowed to remove its own permission guardrails for an unattended loop that auto deploys to production, even with your say so. That's a hard line by design. So an AI can't quietly take the brakes off itself, but you can flip it. It's your call to make, not mine, and it's easy. Open the scheduled section, Playboy Auto Builder, run now, approve each tool it asks for, get docked PNPM, etc. once. Those approvals get stored on the task and auto apply to every future run. No more prompts. That's the real autopilot switch through the front door. Now the honest bigger gotcha. This is the actual reason it skipped while you're at Geico, not permission. Scheduled tasks only run while the Cloud app is open on your Mac. If the Mac sleeps or the app is closed, runs wait for next launch. No permission settings change that. So to truly have it cranking while you're away, you run now plus approve the tools once, kills the prompts. Two, the Mac stay awake plus Claude app open, system settings, keep it from sleeping on power. Want me to start a keep awake caffeinate now so it won't sleep while the app's open today? That part I can do. Yes. Keep awake. Boom. Now I'll go over here. Follow some instructions. Go right here. It told me run now. 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 I don't know how many features they need to build out, but I probably made it double. Like, wait a minute, it's too many run nows. Let's see real quick. It's probably not even that much to do for it to be trying to run some. All right, just bringing it up. So what it does is, how did I get it to basically start building this platform all on its own? And it's an excellent question. Excellent question. Because what took place, I'm gonna go over the context of this. Go over the context real quick. What I wanted initially, and this is where I told it in this message right here, this rambling that I did by voice. I basically told it that I wanted to be efficient token spin. I didn't want to have it going through the 800,000 tokens, 900,000 tokens, however much it was going to get to, and have to continue to figure things out, because the more that you compound in one session, that model in that session that's working for you, think of every session as an agent. You have these sessions, Every session is one agent. So that it can start drifting and it can be less sharp. The less context that it has to go over, the less it has to read. Think of it like you give AI a book. Let's say your book is only 2 pages, or that's an essay at this time. So it's only 2 pages, right? That's cool. It will run through that and be cool with that, and it's going to be very concise. It's going to remember everything. But then you give it a book of 30 pages, it's going to be a little hard. Now, obviously, AI is a whole lot more, capable than 30 pages, but just, for simple comparison, it's going to be sharper remembering them 2 pages than it will be remembering the 30. So instead of me keeping this session going and compounding on the same session, instead we built out something. We probably built out 2 or 3 different things, and then I say, you know what? Instead of us filling this session up, I just want to be as efficient as possible with not only just my token spend, but keeping you as sharp as possible. So I'm gonna start another session, but I want to collect all the features that we need to build out in this app, and I want to be able to have each session focus on one feature at a time. And then what it did was it created a markdown file that is going to be basically, because we're in Cloud Code, and while you're in Cloud Code, it's working out of a folder that's in your iCloud or on your Drive, or is working out of GitHub. You can connect a connector, another app to it. So I connected my GitHub, and it's working out of the repo that has all of my files in there. So what it did was, we've been created a Claude specifically, where it gave the instructions to Claude and how to treat every new session. We added these instructions like, hey, we working on these features. We're going to take one feature at a time. Double OG Delvante wants us to build out this feature. And after you're done with building out this feature, I want you to create another markdown for the next session, the next agent to receive it. Not only does it tell it that we just made this feature, but then you're also giving it the instructions on what to do for this next feature. You see what I'm saying? So this markdown file is important. We created that markdown file, as you can see right here, Playboy integration markdown file, and that's it. That's all I did. You see what I'm saying? And then I refined it a little bit, and then it updated the markdown. It was up in the GitHub repo that this let me say that this group of sessions understands. So I have Delvante Inc. CRM right here. That's my Masterworker. That's Masterworker. I can just change the name and just put it Masterworker right now. Rename group. Let's do that. Masterworker. See what I'm saying? Masterworker. Boom. So it's working out of the GitHub, all of the files that make up Masterworker right now. Each one of these sessions, and each one of these sessions, I look at them as it's an independent agent. This is an agent. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different agents right here. Now, agent number 1 was CRM build. This was the first agent in there, and then it ended up creating the 5 steps that you see right here: step 1 and 2, step 4, 3, 5. Although they're not in order, but it created these steps, and that's the exact same thing that I'm talking about. There was specific features that we had to build out, and instead of me flooding the context of this chat right here, I just created separate chats, and the only context that it had to read through is just 1 or 2 pages for that specific feature. You know what I mean? So that's exactly what we did right there. And then I said, hey, you know what? I want this on autopilot, so to speak. You see what I'm saying? I said, Let's go back. So it did that. It says your whole Playboy vision now lives in one file. It captures the full nested menu exactly as described, right? And then it goes into saying why this is token cheap and loss less. A fresh session reads that one doc plus the markdown specifically for Claude, which is just a few kilobytes, not this whole chat. It builds the next unchecked screen, ticks the box, commits, updates the memory, then it stops. No context bloat, no detail loss. The doc is the memory. To start the next session, all I have to do is just paste this prompt, and then it says, go ahead and handle your granddaughter when you're back. It was here in a movie, but it said when you're back, the prompt picks up exactly where the zero rereading, and it asked me if it wanted me to build layer 2, the full nested menu shell next, or just pause here. And then I told it heard a movie in the background. I don't have a granddaughter, but at this time, I just want to be clear. How does the next session know that we're building the CRM? How am I supposed to start the next session exactly? Step by step, from this current chat to the next. Step by step, tell me how am I supposed to start the next session so it actually goes the way that we plan for it to go. And it's like, okay, fair, no granddaughter. Here's the exact step by step. The key is simpler than it feels. The next session knows it's the CRM automatically because it starts in the same project folder. I told y'all that already. They work out of the same folder, the GitHubs or whatever not. So Claude Code auto loads this project by using Claude Markdown, and your memory the instant a session opens here. So before you type anything, it already knows. It's the CRM, the stack, how to deploy it, all of it. It already knows it. Then it goes on to say, to start the next session, open a new chat or session in the same project. And then it will say it auto loads the instructions I gave to Claude plus my memory. And then it told me the message to paste, the very first message to paste in the new chat of Claude Code. And then it says it reads the two files. Again, the files is in that prompt that the very first message I'm supposed to paste into the session. It builds the next feature. It deploys it so it's active on the internet, and then it ticks the box off and marks it done. And he said, that's it. That's the only rule. Same project folder, same folder equals full context, zero re-explaining. If you open it up in a different folder, then it's lost. And then it said, it had one question for me. This is where we really love Claude, because Claude likes to ask questions and push back. It's not a yes, a yes guy. You know what I mean? It does things. So this is what it did. It said, one question, so I'll make step one foolproof on your end. How do you want to open this? Claude Code on your phone or on your Mac. I'll tell you exactly where to tap to get a fresh session in the same project. I said one screen only because I seen something in the message that it just sent me. I said one screen only. He said that's not a hard rule. That's a guardrail. And screen in quotation marks, it says was me being too literal. The real principle is the big token save is starting fresh each session, not dragging this whole chat forward. That alone cuts the cost way down. Then it says one screen in quotations. It says really means one cohesive chunk. It says group naturally related work. So for example, you have community for Instagram plus YouTube plus LinkedIn is one chunk. Same screen, 3 channels, not 3 sessions. The full nested menu is also one chunk. So, rule of thumb, keep building in a session until it starts feeling long or heavy, then stop and start fresh. So you can tell the session built the whole community feature and it ships all of it, then stops. That'll be fine and still efficient. It says, want me to reword the doc's kickoff prompt from one screen only to build the next cohesive feature, then stop so it's clear, one line change? I said, yes. But then this is where it gets exciting. I said, but I want every new session to write the markdown for the next session once it's done. Put it in the CRM folder and write the starting prompt for the next session. Genius. Then it says, yes, that's even better. So this isn't something that Claude gave me. I'm thinking like, man, I want full autonomy. It says, that's even better. I'll make it self-perpetuating. So a self-perpetuating chain. Every session ends by writing the next session's brief, the exact prompt into the CRM folder. So you paste one tiny line each time and it just continues. Let me wire it into the workflow. Then I had another question for it. I said, every new session will build out the next feature. I said, yes, exactly. Each session you start builds the next feature and queues up the one after it. You paste, and then that session builds the next feature. The next time you paste the same line, it builds that one and queues the next. So it just walks down the checklist that it built or that it rolled out for us to build, the Playboy integration to Masterworker. And then it said, one honest note, it's a relay, not a rebot. You start each session and paste the line. It won't run itself overnight, but you never carry context or re-explain. The handoff file does that. Same line every time. Then it asked me, do you want it to actually run on its own on a schedule or keep it as you trigger each one? Let's stop there. All the time, because a lot of us, come from Chat GPT. A lot of us are just used to that. We gotta trigger everything. We don't gotta trigger everything, bro. You know what I mean? And Claude, Anthropic, they're much more secure than how we are over our own homes for the most part. So you guys gotta extend a little bit of trust to these AI systems. Y'all should trust Anthropic more than y'all trust Instagram, but we're gonna say that for another conversation. Listen, I went ahead and gave it the permissions so it can actually run on its own schedule. You see what I'm saying? I told it a schedule sounds more automated. I like that. They say, yeah, that's a real upgrade. The schedule agent that builds the next Playboy feature on its own, no session needed from you. And then it would just read from those markdown files that we created. So it's not eating up context. This is just automated stuff. I'm like, yeah, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. And it asked me, how often do you want it to run? Build one feature per day? Or do you want it to build all the features right now? And it will be a few hours, but they taking it one at a time. I said, go as fast as possible, every 30 minutes to an hour. Now, every 30 minutes is checking a markdown file to see if I added something, an idea to Masterworker so it can build out its features. And then after that, I went into seeing how that works and how it operates. Then I said, hey, you know what? What I want is I want to be able to communicate with a specific chat session and kind of brainstorm the features before I add it to the markdown file that the AI agent that's on a routine looking for it to build it. I want to be able to chat and basically, create a feature, but I want to refine it right there in that chat session to where it creates that, that clean output for our agent that is building the master worker. And then it went Claude in the same session. It's like, hey, you know what? That's a good idea. You know what I mean? And we conversed a little bit, went back and forth, and then it rolled out that markdown file. And that's where you guys see backlog, right here. It says brainstorm, feature intake for the CRM, the master worker. It says you already have context from Claude plus the memory. All you got to do is skim the backlog, the master worker memory, and the Playboy overview as needed to ground ideas. It says, do not build anything, do not explore the whole code base. Open a specific file only if one idea truly needs that detail. Keep it light. I'll bring you rough feature ideas for each. Interview me one sharp question at a time: what it does, where it lives, how it behaves, how it looks and feel, edge cases, what is the done criteria. Now I have this session going where I'm able to just converse about these features that I want to build. Once I say, yeah, that's my final input on this feature, it's going to update the markdown file, and that agent that is on a routine is going to build out again my master worker, my Jarvis. Make sure Jarvis is tighter and tighter as days go on. And then what's going to be tight is on this backlog, right? I'll go ahead and type in remote control. Send that over. Now I got the Claude app. You see what I'm saying? And on my Claude app, bear with me just a minute. It was so many. It was just so many agents. All of them tasks that I said approve now. They asking me just to approve them. Now I got that AI agent that's building stuff. It's it's just beauty. It's building. It's just building. You see what I'm saying? But anyways, where is that right here? Master worker feature intake. Where's master worker feature intake? Did that start already? Let's do this one more time. Remote, because I don't see it right here. Remote control. Control. Yeah, there you go right there. Yeah. Brainstorm. I don't know if y'all can see that. Could y'all see that? Brainstorm CRM. Yeah. Now I got it on my phone. I could be at work at break and start chatting to it. Yo, I want to do this, do that, and the other, and it's gonna do it. It's gonna upload that markdown, upload to that markdown, and the one that's on the routine checking every 30 minutes is gonna see, okay, that backlog file been updated. I see something I haven't built yet, and then just go out and build it. Now I got a whole bunch of routines going, a whole bunch of files going for this. Put it on auto mode. That's what you do. Put it on auto mode. I don't want to have to, because I'm not going. For me, I'm not even finna. What's that called? Like this the idea that I got behind the scenes. When it showed me this, look, compound command contains CD with output redirection, manual approval required to prevent pass, and it gives me all of this stuff. I don't know all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Allow once. You know what I'm saying? So instead of me just saying allow once over and over and over again, I'm just put it on auto, because unless it's talking to me just like this, both generate and next item, health and brain have no upstream implementation. Playboy admin has front end only placeholder pages in every AP. Look, unless it talks to me like this, and I don't really know exactly what it's talking about anyway. So instead of me doing that, it's just auto. Put it on auto, bro. Put it on auto. So it's not asking you to allow permissions over and over and over again, because I don't care to allow permissions. Auto. Make sure everything is on auto real quick. Go over here. I'm always allow it, and then auto. Put auto on. When I click that run once so many times, I forgot to put auto on all of these sessions. I should have did it one by one. I should have did it one by one. What we like 3, 4. Bottom. About once. There you go. Routines. That's on auto mode. All right, that's the second one. Third one, auto mode. Fourth one, auto mode. All right. Fifth one, auto mode. All right. Sixth one, auto mode. Cool. Look like all of them on auto mode now. Auto mode. Okay, cool. And then if I review it or refresh it, oh, I got schedule in there. This was built automatically for me. As y'all can see, I've been sitting here yapping out the mouth at y'all, you know, and then blah, blah, all that good stuff, telling y'all how it's going to work out and all that. And the next thing you know, I come back and it's a schedule feature in here on auto mode where I can choose time set a time. I can add a time here. You feel me? This is something else. Look here. This is crazy. This is crazy. You can do all of this. See how many posts per week? How many posts I want to? I want 70 posts a week on Instagram. 10 posts a day. I don't want my agent to sleep. Y'all might want y'all agent to sleep, but I don't. You know what I'm saying? Sunday on. I can target on it. This is spiffy. This is spiffy. All right, so bet it's doing that. It's creating more features for me on autopilot right now. I got so many sessions going right now. It's crazy. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm gonna be excited when I just see more sessions and more stuff just being added to this. And I'm just so player, and I'm just so smooth with everything I got going on. You know what I'm saying? Now, let's do something before I wrap up the night. Let's do something that's really fun. Let's do it. Let's go in, and what I want to do is this 21st.dev is where you can get these visuals. Oh my gosh. Anyways, there's a lot of stuff on 21st.dev. Go check out 21st.dev. That's like 21st, 21 Street.dev, 21st.dev. This is basically where they give you UI and UX and tools and stuff, and basically like either the prompt or the exact coding for it. So you can just copy it and tell your AI to build it, other than you having. As for me, I don't have any coding background, so I wouldn't know how to build this stuff out the way that I want to. You see what I'm saying? So look at this, like woven by light. Look at this. You see how this operate right here? When my mouse come across it, it moves and stuff. I can basically have my I can have Playboy look like this. You know what I'm saying? I can take that code and I can put it over there. But I don't want that one. Let's see. I like this one too. Gradient tracing. That's hard. That's hard. I'm gonna say that one because I'm gonna come up with an idea to use it, because that's hard. So say that content manager. I'm gonna save it. Look at this one. I like that red light in the background, but I don't like how it's just like doing it by itself. I want it to like be based off of my mouse moving or my mouth. And I probably can tell AI to like base it off like pulse when I talk or when it talks to me and stuff like that. But it's cool. That one was cool. Let's look at this one. It's like you in a valley or something like that, in between hills. I'm looking for a visual that I'm basically looking for a visual like basically like give my Masterworker an identity. Boring. Give my Masterworker an identity. This is whack. Oh, okay. That's cool too. I'm gonna say that one. I'm gonna say that one. I probably will end up using it for something. This is tight. This is tight. I'm gonna save it. It's already saved. I looked at that one before. I like how that moves. And then to think about it pulsing when it talks, like that would be hard. That's all right. That is okay. I always liked this dotted surface. I always like this dotted surface. So I'm gonna input this dotted surface in here. I'm gonna copy the code real quick. Now the code is copied. And then I'm gonna go over here to go to my brainstorming session. Give it the code. And then I'm gonna talk to it. Hey, I really like that dotted surface type of thing. I don't want the words dotted surface. So if there's any type of reference to the, the name of the code screen, because what I'm thinking is I want the animated dotted wave surface to be a part of Masterworker. I want it to basically be the visual that I see on the home tab. You know what I mean? I want that to be its, I want it to be the visual that I see on the home tab. I want everything on the home tab to stay there as well. But, the background of Masterworker in itself is that, the animated dotted surface. So whenever I'm on the home tab, and I'm talking to Masterworker, that animation is there, But then I'm also thinking too, when I talk to Masterworker and it's talking back, it's listening, I want the dotted surface to be dynamic based upon what it's hearing, so I know that it's listening to me. And then I also too want it to be dynamic based upon when it's talking to me. So when it's talking, the dots are moving to the sound of Masterworker in its voice. So that animation follows the vibrations of the sound. That's what I'm thinking. Boom. Give it to it just like that. Yeah. Let's see if something else deployed to Masterworker. Publish, schedule, review. All of that been there before. Something is working because the Instagram API is not working. That means something is being deployed to it. Something is in the works, because that was working before. So that's in the works. I ain't gonna stress it out. I'm not gonna stress out about it. Let these things, let these AI agents work. That's crazy. So boom, it says, should each state also have its own distinct look so you can tell at a glance which mode it's in? Say idle is calm cream dots, listening shifts to a color tint, tighter ripple, speaking glows warmer and bigger with the voice. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. Yeah, I like your idea about the idle. Allow it to stay calm, cream dots, but then the listening, let's allow it to shift to, yeah, like a cooler tint. Yeah, like it's cool, like it's going cold. Get a tight ripple. And then for that speaking, yeah, let it speak and grow warm. Yeah. And bigger with the voice. I like that. I like that. Yeah. And when they say warm, what color tone were you thinking when you said warm? I'm thinking for cool, you were thinking like a blue, like a lighter tone of blue. That's what I'm thinking. I'm assuming like it looks like low key like ice, low key. But what were you thinking? hmm For warm, I was picturing amber, honey, gold. Ooh, hold on. Claude is cooking. Claude is cooking. Hold on. It says for warm, I was picturing amber slash honey gold, like the cream dots heating up into candlelight. Look, Claude is cold. Think a glowing amber, not red, orange. I like that. And then it says it stays in the Playboy palette family, so it reads as the same cream surface warming up rather than a foreign color. Paired with your icy blue listening state, you got a clean cold to warm arc, ice blue listening, cream idle, amber glow speaking. Okay, hold on, but before I go with that, okay, before I go with that, what were you thinking before I said anything? What were you thinking the color tone was for listening? Yup, bet. Let's go with that. Yeah, move to the next sharp question. My wife probably want to lay down and go to sleep. Bitch, we need this money. Don't you? The character of the motion when it reacts to the sound. Two ways it can move. The whole field swells uniformly, louder, the entire wave rises together, or the sound radiates as ripples from the center outward, like the voices emanating from the middle of the screen where the masterworker is, and each word pushes a ring through the dots. A I lean toward ripples from center for both listening and speaking. It feels alive and directional, like the surface is breathing with a conversation. Yep, I like your recommendation, Claude. Yeah, I like your recommendation. Yep. But then Claude don't know I'm not finished yet. I'm not even finished yet, Claude, because I also want while them dots is that I was thinking about adding this bad boy to the dots. Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. Got another code for it. Yeah. So you were just asking me, if I wanted to, I want speaking to push a bit harder than listening. Yeah, I want speaking to push a bit harder than listening. But then I just gave you code for yeah, like yeah, you just, as I was speaking, you just started to type to me. So a glowing morphing orb. Yeah, I want to keep the dotted surface. Yes, I do. Yeah. And then above the dotted surface though. I want it above the dotted surface though. You see what I'm saying? And yep, I want it above the dotted surface. And yeah, it is Masterworker's presence at the center. Yeah, it is at the center. And I do want the voice to emanate from it. Yep. Yeah. It it already it it knew where I was going with it. It already knew where I was going with it. That's hard. That's hard. Yeah. They're gonna evaluate too. Yeah. That's hard. Hmm. Perfect, Alex. Okay, so dotted surface equal full bleed background. Ambient waves, ripples from center, icy cream, amber arc reacts to your mic in its voice. Orb above the surface, dead center, the masterworker's presence, voice emanates from it and pushes ripples out into the dots. Speaking pushes harder than listening. Whole thing stays refined. One sharp question on layout: how the orb coexists with what's already on the home tab, the greeting, the what needs you cards, the voice bar. My read: the orb is a medium centerpiece anchored in the middle with the greeting floating just above it, the voice command bar just below it, and what needs you cards lower down. So the orb is a clear focal point you talk to, but the cards still live on the page you scroll. Nah, Nah, what do I do with these cards right here? What do I do with them? What do I do with them? Hmm. All right, put the chat bar, where I can tell the worker what to do and we can go into chatting. Put that at the bottom as a footer. And then for the cards, drafts, awaiting review, contacts, open deals, put that in the side pillar. It's a drop down menu for home, and its menu. I don't even want contacts and open deals because contacts and open deals already have its own tab. You see, it already has its own tab, contacts and pipelines. So You know what? I think I think that's the move I'm gonna go with. I think the left pillar is gonna host all of my AI agents. Playboy is an AI agent. There's going to be different tabs along the way that go into the different apps and tabs or AI agents that I have. You know what I mean? And those are the only things that's going to be listed on the side menu right there. And then it's going to be drop down menus, like sub menus for each one of the tabs. So I can access, certain like specific pages within that application or within that tab or within that AI agent, whatever it is. So for these cards, I want to keep the logic of them. I want to keep the way that they function because they are dynamic and so forth. I want to keep all of that, but I want to shift them over. I want to take it off of this home page. Take it off of this homepage and put it where they belong. Put them in a yeah, put those cards as a sub menu underneath home. So home is a drop down menu. Contacts and pipelines are a part of that sub menu. You know what I mean? Take them. Right now they are main menu tabs. They're going to become sub menu tabs. They're going to live underneath home. You see what I'm saying? And we need to put that card, that contacts card that currently lives on home, we need to put it on the contacts page and make sure, it lives at the top of the contacts page so I can see how many contacts I got. And then for pipelines, that open deals card, allow it to again remain dynamic, keep all of the logic in the file, the way that these cards operate, keep it, but make sure that card, the open deals card, lives on the pipelines page. And then for drafts awaiting review, that's, I'm assuming that's a part of Playboy. You I need to clear to me what drafts awaiting review is before I decide where that goes. Well, I'm finna get up real quick.